Hey everyone, Gardy Mo's back again. So, as you guys know, Ben Habib, he's set up his new political party, Advance UK, 2 days ago. So, I think I'm going to put my criticisms and judgments on standby, I think, when I look at this upon face value. The only points I can really criticise about Advance UK is that I don't like the name. I don't know who decided on the name Advance UK, but it sounds like some kind of something you'd name like a company, like a motoring company or something. It doesn't sound very patriotic. It doesn't sound very inspiring. It doesn't have a lot of energy to it. I think it should be renamed. That's my personal opinion. I also think the mission statement, I read through it on the website. I think it's a bit lukewarm. I think there's definitely a lot of things that can be added to the mission statement, particularly mass deportations that has to be factored in, as well as, you know, talking about the rise of religious sectarianism and fundamentalism specific to Islam. You know, very strangely enough, you know, Ben Habib is actually very knowledgeable about the problem with Islam, the infiltration of the Islamists and the extremists towards this country, but he doesn't include it in the mission statement, which I find odd. I find very odd. But obviously, it's still within the initial stages. You know, it's still not a fully fledged political party. It's a party in waiting, essentially. So he's got to get those 30,000 signatures or membership applications in order for them to be eligible to run as a legitimate political party. So there's still a lot of things that we have to wait on, and we just have to wait and see. But I've been saying for the longest time, we all have to unite under one banner. You know, Nick Tinconi, Paul Golding, Ben Habib, Rupert Lowe, you know, Andrew Bridgen and Howard Cox. Everyone together, they have to unite under one single political party, like sort of a coalition, a mixed bag of these kinds of smaller parties together, united under one banner. And that's the only way to save our country, because I believe if this doesn't happen, then we're truly screwed on the political side of things. At least in the political arena, do you really think that Advance UK has enough of what it takes to go against reform, to go against Labour, to go against the Tories, all of them combined, going against Advance? It just doesn't sound well, for me at least. But there's still a lot of things that we have to weigh up on and see how it pans out for the party. A lot of people are quite disappointed that Rupert Lowe hasn't joined Ben Habib's mission. I'm quite disappointed myself. You know, on the same day, it seems like he's started up his own, what's it called? Think tank, like some kind of cultural think tank, something very similar to the GB Pack, like a pressure group to develop policies and plans that will hold whichever government is in power to scrutiny. But we have enough of these think tanks. We have enough of these organisations. GB Pack. There's plenty of others. Why do you have to set up another one? I think it's called Restore UK. You know, there's too much splintering on our side of the political spectrum. I think there needs to be a coming together. It has to happen. The thing is, the reason why I say there has to be a coming together is when they all meet up together and unite under one banner, they can hold each other accountable. You know, Nick Tinconi, Ben Habib and Rupert Lowe. Nick Tinconi can't do it all by himself. Ben Habib, with his party, he simply can't do it all by himself and save this country just with the power and the might of one political party that excludes other of these prominent individuals that have done tremendous work. The thing is, like, the way I've observed Nick Tinconi, and I'm going to get a lot of stick for saying this, but I think I am making a very informed opinion about Nick Tinconi and UKIP in general, because I've met the guy in person more than a number of times to see what he's like. He's not the kind of prime minister material. He's not ready to be prime minister. I don't see him in the position of prime minister, at least for the time being. At least how he carries himself for now. I know you guys are going to criticize me down in the comment section, but if you actually see him in person in those mass deportations rallies, Nick Coney, he sort of charges into the in front of these leftists and these lefty loony counter protesters. There was one time I was at that Bristol rally, and he yelled at these counter protesters, "Do you want some? Do you want some?" Is that the kind of prime minister you're looking for? Do you actually imagine someone like Nick Coney to be charging up counter protesters, being all agitated? I've seen it in person. Do you imagine him to be prime minister, let alone being an MP sitting in parliament? I just don't think he lacks that kind of professionalism. I think Ben Habib, if we actually get him into power, into parliament, he's the right statesman that can tackle the right issues and has the right attitude and mentality to garner up more and more support as the years go by. But what have UKIP really achieved other than making a lot of noise? You know, a lot of these mass deportations rallies, I've been to 2 of them now, and in all honesty, they're not organised well. It's very wishy-washy. Like, half the time, Nick Coney and his team, they have no idea what they're doing. It's like we're just dilly-dallying around the area. Yes, we have mass deportations banner, and we've got our crosses, and we've got our Union Jacks and St George's flags, but the whole organisation of it is just not structured well. The rally itself, you know, if UKIP can't organise a rally, a simple mass deportations rally well enough, what makes you think they can actually govern the country effectively? That's all I'm saying. UKIP aren't ready. They just simply aren't. They will never win the next general election in 2029, and they're just not ready. They don't have the resources, they don't have the funding, and they don't have the right people that have that statesman mentality, that statesman attitude to be able to save this country. That's why I'm asking for all of them to come together so they can hold each other accountable and actually criticize each other. And that's the thing with UKIP right now. Have you guys noticed everything that comes out of UKIP, everything that's pumped out of the party? You always see Nick Coney's face. You always see Nick Coney is mentioned. So I'd like to see more people involved in UKIP, you know, prominent members of the leadership. Otherwise, it's just another one-man band. It's just another thing where all the policies and plans are trickling down from Nick Coney himself. There's no real unanimity or homogeneity amongst the whole of the political party. It's just coming from one man. That's the way I see it, at least. So I'm really looking forward to what Ben Habib has in mind, and if he's going to add more policies and plans to his mission statement and eventually develop a concrete, sophisticated set of principles as part of his manifesto for Advanced UK. That's it. Ultimately, ideally, we all have to unite under one banner. We have to unite. No one man, no one party can do it all by themselves. That's all I have to say. It's Guardian Modes clocking out. Be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And I'll see you in the next video. I know I'm going to get a lot of stick for what I said today in this video, but I had to say it and I had to give you my honest thoughts, my current thoughts. But that's it. Have a good day.